So, but that is not the only reason why it is declared not to be interest. It is declared not to be interest in relation to state versus the members of state. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dua al-Islam.
Azur, I have a question about namaz. In namaz, in first two rakats, we recite with a loud voice, and we also recite any surah after.
In all the rakats, in all the namaz.
No, only first two rakats.
In Zohar and Asr as well.
No.
So why do you say that?
That's my question, actually. That is my question. In the Maghrib and Isha and Fajr, we recite with a loud voice.
This is a question which I have repeatedly answered. You see, what is the normal, natural singing time? Tell me. Is the middle of the day?
No.
Or it is the morning and evenings and nights? Tell me.
It's morning, evenings.
And nights. So that is what the Holy Quran has done. Why do you have an objection against it?
I do not have.
It is so natural.
I do not have objection.
No, I understand, of course. But I mean, no one. By you, I don't mean you personally. None can have any objection. It's so natural.
Yes.
Right?
So I want to know, was this a law which was set on the very first day, or this law?
Practice started exactly as the namaz came into being.
Right.
As namaz was made compulsory, or an obligatory or optional, both namazis were mentioned right from the beginning, and the form was told exactly as it is today.
That answers my question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But again, at night, late night, it is forbidden to recite whatever you are reading in namaz loudly. For another reason. Because you may disturb other people who are asleep, and it's not compulsory for them to get up at that time. Yes?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum. MashaAllah, you're going very fast now. Eh?
I'd like to ask two questions from me.
Yes, please.
The first one is, in the Quran it says that there will be a day of resurrection for every human being, in which God will judge everybody on their mistakes, on things that have done good. So what I'd like to know is, after someone dies,
if what? If someone dies?
When someone dies, between the time that they die and the day of resurrection, what state of being is that person in?
Yes. That is called Alam-e-Barzakh, a no man's land. What happens is that we do not lose our consciousness, our existence, after death. For a few days, maybe, for some period, let's not call it days, the human consciousness of its existence is dazed, and the life seems to be in a state of, half asleep, or something has happened. But gradually and slowly it evolves into its own independent identity. It happens differently with different people. The more pious they are, more godly inclined they are, more rapidly this consciousness develops. Because the consciousness I'm talking about is a consciousness not related to this world, but to the other world. Existence in the other world. So Hazrat Rasul Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has mentioned that the spirit, the soul, takes from 3 to 40 days to separate totally from the body and to sever its ties completely. So that is what has led me to infer what I am telling you, that as long as it is not fully severed from the bodies, it may have a confused consciousness. What I am, half here and half there, But when it develops its independent identity as a soul after death, having nothing to do with matter anymore, then it comes into its consciousness. But that consciousness is not the final form in which it will be raised. It is like the embryo on the first day. It has some form of life, but it is so different from the life of the delivered child after 9 months. So the Holy Quran has said that your first raising and your second raising will be like the childbirth in the uterus of your mothers. It's very deep message and very rich message of philosophy is given in this. To me, it creates the scenario that like the life on the first day when the ovum is fertilized is still a life which will develop into a child. But it is so far removed from the ultimate child when it is delivered with all the faculties at its commands. So this is why there are two births after death. One birth is immediate. That birth is not very far removed from our state of consciousness here on earth. But when it will be developed finally, that is what we call resurrection. It will be raised as if into nothing, into something totally new. So the Holy Quran says, referring to that final resurrection, that you will be raised into something of which you have no knowledge. وَنُنْشِئُكُمْ فِي مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. We will raise you into something of which you have no idea. So if immediately after death we know what soul goes through, and if it is the same feeling as we have here, then how can we say that God raised us into something of which we have no idea? So that is why I am telling you, now apply this statement to the scenario which the Holy Quran has mentioned. The difference between the state of the embryo on the first day and the difference of the same thing when it develops into a full grown child and it is delivered as a healthy child, the difference between the two would be as great as the difference between the soul which is just come to life after death and that soul which will be ultimately ready for question and answer and will be resurrected. That would take a very, very long time. How it will happen, we don't know. But the souls will be put through that. Now the Holy Quran gives us just a specimen, an idea of how we can calculate this time. It says that when they will be raised, they will talk among themselves and say, how long did we tarry on earth? Some of them will say a day or two perhaps. The others will say maybe an hour or two. And God says, no, you don't know. Still you don't know. Now when you look back at time, the farther away from you of some instant in time, the smaller it appears. You see, your childhood at the age of 80 appears to be a small period which just passed quickly. And when you look back at the time of death at your life, it seems to be so small and squeezed. But still it seems to be years, not days and hours. So that means that you are looking back at life on earth from a place which in time which is so far removed that when you look back you think it was just a small hour or something, but the remarks of Allah at that time indicate that it would be much smaller than that. You don't know, So that means it is maybe 1 trillion years or so many billions years, I don't know. But the distance would be very big in time for the final resurrection. First question is answered.
Thanks very much.
Was the second contained in this answer or not?
No.
It's a different question?
Sort of answered it a little.
It's a different question?